Good evening, my loves. Good evening, my loves. This is another Blackout video. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to my channel. This is Spiritually Savage in a loving way. Excuse me. In a loving way, in a respectful way. Love God first, love yourself second, so that way you can love others unconditionally. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. Welcome, welcome. As of today, which is March 1st, and it is 10:39 in the evening on the eastern side of the southern parts of the United States. I hope you guys are doing well. I am sending you peace of mind, love in your heart. There's a must for that. Sometimes we can, go to the dark side, be petty, indulge in that, devilish behavior. We're human, but we know right from wrong, okay? And so I was just writing in my journal, and it's like most of the messages now that come to me, because I am in a different state of perception. It's like it's reparenting. So that's what I just got just now, because I'm like, okay, why was I just prompted to do a video? I'm writing in my journal, y'all. I'm literally writing in my journal, and then a thought came to me about going easy on ourselves. Just going easy on ourselves. This is a time to pamper yourself. Think about it. Think of how many people in your life that you've pampered, that you've shown love to in the numerous ways, whatever your love language is. What mine is cooking. I love cooking. So if I've ever cooked for anyone, that was me genuinely showing my love, especially if it was good. And I don't just cook, I bake. So in that, I put love. That's a form of magic. We're all magical beings here. Well, most of us. Most of us that know how to create and get inspirations on our own and get ideas, inventions. I used to think it was just, well, let me speak from my experience. I used to think it was just me, like being honest. I guess that was the ego, because I did. I used to think it was me, y'all. Like, I knew God created me, and I knew my ancestors played a part, even though, but there was no connection. Like, I didn't connect the thoughts that I was having and me talking in my head. Like, I didn't think anybody was listening. I thought I was talking to myself. Like, I used to have this saying, and I still say it to a certain point, you know, you're not crazy if you're talking to yourself, but if you begin to answer yourself. And in my head, I begin to answer myself. And I thought it was me still, but it's not. It is not, y'all. It is not me. It is definitely, most definitively God and our ancestors, okay? And the spirit realm, okay? The veil has been lifted. So you can have, if you are let me say this, and I say this with all love and light, even though I understand the darkness now. But on the love and light part, let me let you know that what is happening to you is that your energetic field has been infiltrated by negative demonic energies. If demonic scares you, go back to a couple of my videos in the beginning, okay? And work your way up to this conversation. Demonic is just another name for negative energy. They use the word demonic to scare you, to trigger you. That's why all the shows that you watch that portrayed demonic energy made it like the devil with the pitchfork red and all kinds of stuff, okay? But really what it is it's an energy. Start training your mind to think of people as energy, okay? Some people don't have a soul. They don't. I found that hard to believe, but I've experienced enough of them in my life to know that that is true. And most of them are narcissistic, okay? They are. They are. And it's an illness, it's a sickness. They are sick. They have an STD. They have a spiritually transmitted disease, which is a demon, which is a negative demon. There are positive ones and then there are negative ones. Literally, there are. There's balance in this place, okay? But in this moment, I need you to pamper yourself. The way that you pampered other people in your life, that is one of the lessons that I am currently learning. Like, seriously. And I never thought it was difficult, but I wasn't doing it myself. You feel me? I wasn't doing it myself because I had the means to go get my hair done every 2 weeks. I had the means to go get my nails done every 2 to 3 weeks. I had the means to order food or drive and go wherever I wanted to go. I had the means to plan vacations and do this and do that. But when you are told to sit down and be still, no distractions, and purify your body and purify your thoughts and heal your wounds and forgive those that trespassed against you and forgive yourself for allowing it and forgiving yourself for not knowing better when you did wrong and forgiving yourself for anything, okay? You have to do that, right? But when you're asked to do that, and I'm telling you from experience, this is all my personal experience. This is the walk that I just walked, because through each step I was like, okay, I'm sitting still, God, I'm listening. But I was really not sitting still, and through each progression I learned a little bit more about, okay, what sitting still actually means. And I remember when someone said to me, just lie on the bed and do nothing. And I believe my response was, do nothing. I believe that's what I said. But which I've done that. I've done that. But then what I recognize is that, which I've already incorporated in my life, but I also recognize that yoga is a form of meditation as well, in which you get to align your thoughts, your body, and your spirit. You not some most highly advanced people in spirituality can quiet their mind where there's no thoughts running, or not that many. I'm not there yet, okay? But I do realize that that's part of my meditation when I'm cleaning up, when I'm writing in my journal. Because when you write, you're talking in your head, right? You are. And so you're talking to God, you're talking to your ancestors, you're talking to your spiritual team. We are never alone. And so all that love, y'all, all that love, all the time. And I don't equate love with money. Never have. Now, money allowed me to show my love in different ways, but my time is how I show love. My time, because time is unquantifiable. It really is. Why? Because it's the most precious thing we have on this place, in this incarnation, in this body, in this time frame. Why? Because you can't get it back. You can lose everything. Look at me. Hey, look at me now. Look at me now. Hey, I'm getting paper, right? Listen, it didn't change my disposition. It just made me hold on and fight a little harder, but it was confusing. And when I found spirituality, I found out that why. I dove in and I had conversations about the Bible and religion with quite a few people. And some of them went to theology school. They're theologians. So they studied the Bible intricately. They've broken down. They've gone to the roots. I forget. There's a phrase that they call that. The preachers say it. I don't know if y'all can hear me because I had the phone sitting upward, so I really do hope you can hear me. I do apologize about that. Right? So at this time, think about all the people you have helped and have given advice to and have shown love to and have given your time to. That's how I quantify love. Those things that I named. Everything else is a thing and can never love you back, which is why I showed people with my time and with gifts. Yeah, because I love spoiling the people that I love. And I expected it in return. And the crazy part about it was because I didn't get it in return, I made up this notion in my mind that it was because they didn't have it. No, that wasn't the reason. The reason is because they didn't want to. Because I've watched over and over and time again them do it to other people. But understand that I know and I recognize that that was part of the programming. They were supposed to do that spiritually. They don't understand here in this life why they do the things that they're doing. It confuses them, which makes them deny the fact that they've ever even done it because they're so heinous. It's like, why would I do that to a person that I love, right? I've been in that situation when I was under black magic. Trust me, I did. Give you an example. And I've never done this to her at all. I had since paid her back, made amends, but I do remember this very vividly. And I don't know why I didn't tell her. I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know why. So I had a homegirl come in from out of state and we were spending the weekend together. And I was under black magic and I was struggling and it was a lot going on in my life. It was, and I wonder if I wrote about it. I don't know if I wrote about it. And we had planned a spa day and I don't think I made enough money working at waitressing at the time. I don't know if I was still in school too. I would have to read it to see, but I remember this specifically because of how I felt and I was so confused as to why. I have been nothing but up until then. I this is when black magic was heavy too. I would have to ask her because I'm sure because she was on the other end of it that it's more vivid in her time frame and in her movie, because it was something egregious done to her. And it wasn't so egregious. It was just like, okay, so let me just say. So we had a spa day. And so we went to the spa and really we were sexually assaulted. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say we were sexually assaulted because the massage therapist was too intimate. He came too close to certain areas, is what I'm going to say. Uncomfortable. Anywho, I didn't have the money to pay. And it was $100. And I didn't tell her. This is a homegirl that I've known since we were 15 years old. First person I met in Georgia when I first moved to, when I first moved from New York. And she was from Jersey. And I couldn't understand why I didn't tell her. And she asked me that. And I don't know what excuse I gave her. I don't know. Because I'm sure I was under heavy magic. But if I didn't write it down, it doesn't matter because I can ask her and she would tell me. She'll remember the day because I think it was for her birthday. It was some significant time frame on why we came in. And after that, we didn't talk for a long time. And I hadn't talked to her. I hadn't reached out because, of course, there's shame attached to that. And there's guilt attached to it. And also embarrassment. I've never done that. I've never done that. And the crazy part about it is that I had a cousin do it to me like years but prior, when I was like 25 or such, and I had gone to New York. And matter of fact, we had I wonder if she remembers this, because the person that I did it to went out with us. I had take my baby cousin out with me, the homegirl that I'm speaking of from Jersey, and her friend, and we had gone out on a town in Manhattan, or we was like down in the city somewhere. And my cousin didn't tell me that she didn't have the money. And I believe I said something to her, and I don't think I pulled her to the side. I think I said it to her at the table. So like hindsight 2020, because I know I don't like to be embarrassed, I would have pulled her to the side. Like now that's something that I would do. I would pull them to the side. I wouldn't, embarrass her because I was on the other end of that. I'm telling you, the energy that you put out there always comes back. You just never know when and how it's going to come back, but you're going to be put in the same emotional state that you put another person in. And because it really wasn't no malicious intent, it really wasn't. But I felt what she felt when I did it to my homegirl. So like years later, I think I reached out. I did. And I think I was in a better state of mind. I was working, I believe. I don't know what the situation was, but I know I was in a better state of mind. And I reached out to her, and, I kind of played it off like, but she knew and I knew, because we're both not stupid. We're both intelligent women. And I know I asked her, I said, is that when I brought it up, because I brought up the situation, and I said, is that why I haven't heard from you? And she was like, yeah, kind of, sort of. And I know her, and she was telling the truth. And I said, well, girl, I'm sorry. I apologize. Because really I did. I did call a dude that I had been dating for a long time. We were on and off for a long time. And he said he was going to send it to her. He never did. I never followed up because, like I said, I was like, I believe I was working downtown Atlanta at the time. I believe I was, y'all. And the job I worked at was like a night cafe type that didn't close till like 3, 4 in the morning. And then we would like go down. I was living. Those are stories. Oh my goodness, that's a story for another time. Anyway, so I did make amends with her, but I just realized that revelation about me doing that with her there to my little cousin. How ironic and not so coincidental that she was the one that I did that to. And I don't know why, though. I really don't know why. And I wonder if I wrote about it, but I was living. And a lot had happened. Oh my goodness. I remember that time now. I remember it now. It's coming back to me as I'm talking about it. It's coming back to me. Yeah. Anywho, that was weird. I went down a little rabbit hole of my own, but I guess somebody needed to hear that part. So I don't know. If you're listening, girl, I know I apologized before, but this is a sincere apology. It doesn't matter what excuse or what explanation, because we were so much better than that. Absolutely. And so I wish you nothing but love, peace, and happiness. My love, my love, my love. You know who you are. Because I've only done it to one person. Like, anything egregious I've done under that influence, and I know it was meant to isolate me and to have me not have friends and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, whatever. And it was the spider was narcissistic web, blah 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 blah. I'm not making light of it, but I've talked about that incessantly for like 300 videos. The next time I talk about it like incessantly or in detail, it would be an organized platform, like where I've written down notes and stuff like that because I've put something together. Anywho, yeah, so um love on yourself. I don't know why. I don't even know how I went down that road. Y'all listening though, but I don't even know how I went down that road and why I went down that road. But I am learning to love myself without the convenience of having the monetary mode operandi to get it conveniently. Okay? I don't have the dolo right now to go get it done. And so me doing it myself, which let me just let y'all know this, I used to do it that way in my 20s and in my teen years. I did. That was me. That was how I grew up. I didn't realize that's how I stayed connected to God and my ancestors. And because I spent quiet time with myself, I listened to myself. And I listen to my intuition, which is God given, which is how spirit talks to us. And so it's like, I remember, like, there's a such thing as them trying to wipe your memory clean too. But my memory, my mind was too powerful. Thank God. Ooh, thank God. 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 Ooh, thank God. Because they tried to break my mind, y'all. They tried to break my mind. They tried to break my mind. And if they can break your mind, they got you. If they can break your mind, they got you. They got you. They can keep you in a state of confusion and they can control what you do. Trust me, I know I'm still fighting for complete autonomy. Right now, it's not even the devil I'm fighting myself. Because think about it. You're in between where you want to be and who you want to be and who you were and where you are now. Okay? You're in the middle. And the devil wants you on his side because it needs your positive energy. It needs your light. Anytime your light is bright, the devil wants you to be negative. The negative energy, the people that govern this place on negative energy and with negative energy and through negative energy, they want you. They want you to be in a negative state. They need you to be in a negative state. Let me put it that way. Not that they want you to, they need you to. They need you because your light turned dark powers the negativity. So you got to come back to the light. No matter what you've been through. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know you're thinking, don't nobody understand, or overstand. But baby, I know. I feel it. I felt it. I've been there. I really have. I really have. The amount of enemies and monsters and folks and witches and warlocks I've come across and corrupt magicians I've come across, y'all just don't overstand. That is for those that's on the another level. But for those that are here in the 3D and are going through the beginning of your transformation, the people you come across ain't who you think they are. They're not. Remember they say people that just because they look like you don't mean they like you. All those little things people used to say is actual factual. But you have to have spiritual eyes to see and spiritual ears to hear. And the only way you can have that connection with God is to purify your body in all manners. Mind, body, spirit, soul, emotional state. Emotional is the hardest because that's where it has to come in, where you have to heal. You have to heal your heart. And I'm doing it now, y'all. Please, there is no judgment here. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you've done. As long as there was no malicious intent behind it. If there was malicious intent behind it, Like, you wanted to see somebody suffer. Like, that's malicious intent to me. You just wanted to see them cry. You just wanted to see them broke down. You just wanted them see them go through trials and tribulations. And you put that in. Like, that's a totally different ball game. And this channel is not for you, because I don't do that. I don't. I've never been vindictive. There's not been a person that say, now if I don't like you and we beefing, that's a whole nother story. That's not being vindictive. That's me not liking you. And that goes for when I was like younger and people want to say, oh, well, you was vindictive when you beat me up. No, what did you say? Because I was never the kid. Trust and believe. Let me just be clear. I was never the kid to be like, okay, I'm gonna, hit you or beat you up or whatever if you didn't do anything. My mama told me that. Because if I did and the parent came and told her that I got into a fight with your child got into a fight with my child, and I hit them first, I would get another whooping. So I would have beat the person up, but then I would have got home and got a whooping. Because I don't need to be being out here fighting if it's not in defense of myself. So 9 times out of 10, I did instigate and use my words to make them mad and piss them off so they would hit me, and then that just gave me a reason to beat them up. So that was very manipulative as a kid, but I was never the one to be like, I would never start it. Like, words hurt me back then, and so I used my words and I used my fists. So there that was. But as an adult, I knew better, and as a person who is awakened to the spiritual part of life, knowing that we all are connected, I never want to hurt no one intentionally or unintentionally. So now I see things from a different perspective, a bigger picture perspective, a higher perspective. So, and even back then, I never wanted to hurt her. Like, I'm not sure what my actions caused her, what type of emotional trauma it caused her, because I was a close friend, and we met each other when we were both new to Georgia. So I don't know how she looked at it. I don't know how she felt. We never even discussed that part, because I made light of the situation, or I feel I made light. I don't know how she feels. When I kind of joked it off and was like, girl, I didn't know that. I thought he sent you the money. And I wound up just sending her the money that day, which is why I reached out, because I knew I had the money to send it. Because I kind of felt like, because I stopped talking to the dude that was supposed to do it, and he was mad. And so I kind of felt, my intuition knew that he probably never did it. And I knew that's probably why she hadn't reached out to me, so to speak. But then I recognized that she didn't reach out to me at all, really. Like, we used to write each other and everything, but then that stopped. So that was that. But anywho, all that love that you have shown people, it's time to turn it to yourself. I guess that was me making amends again. I don't know why, but it came out. But I hadn't even recognized. I had forgot all about that story until I started talking about the one in Manhattan. So that's twice that was just a message. Yeah. So listen, that was the message then. I mean, the other part is turn the love onto yourself, but that was the message. That was a clear sign of how the energy I put out there came right back to me, and it came back years later. I was 25 around 25, I believe, when that happened with my god sister, with my cousin, cousin, whatever. She's not blood related, but you get, parents grew up together, blah, blah, blah. And so in my 30s, it happened to me, where I was on the other end of it, though. So I am mindful and careful about the things that I say and do now. More mindful because I'm more consciously aware, because I see the effects of it. And I've been in the situations that others were in, except the way I responded and the way they responded were completely different. So I've been on the end where I responded negatively because I embarrassed someone. And then I've been on the other end of it where she did not embarrass me. We were by ourselves and she spoke quietly. I don't believe there was anybody around, but I was high at the time anyway, off weed. So I don't quite remember if there was anyone in the room. I don't. I really don't. I wonder if I wrote about it though. But anyhow, so now I'm learning, relearning, and being consciously aware of it and not doing it absent-mindedly. And that's a little strange, I guess. Because I know when I used to do it when I was in my 20s and all that stuff, and in my teen years, because I read books. Like, I was the nerdy popular girl, kind of, sort of. Like, really, I was the nerdy popular girl. But I didn't look at it as that. Like, people think about high school, and I didn't look at it as popular kids, just kids. I talked to everybody. I did. But mainly I read books. I did. I read books out throughout my entire elementary, high school, middle school, college. I read books. I love books. I do. I do. So I was the one that whose head was always in a book. I was reading something. Always. I am a little goofy. I'm geeky. I'm a little weird. Eccentric. I'm an enigma. I've been known I was an enigma. But I'm not an enigma to myself, so to speak, because I accepted myself. And I'm accepting the changes and the transformation that I'm currently going through now. I'm accepting it. Everything that has happened in my life, I've accepted it. Sometimes it's taken me a lot longer to accept things than others, and that's okay, because that's my path. And so you must accept your path. Please, 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 please. If you don't do anything, don't compare your path to my path. That's not what this channel is about. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to learn from me. So if you see something or hear something in my message or in the lessons in my confessions that resonate with you, that means it hits a chord. When people say resonate, it means it hits a chord. It hits a chord with you. It strikes something in you. It makes your body jump. It makes your head tilt to the side. It makes you go, to yourself. That's what resonate means. Means on some level, you recognize it. You recognize that vibration. You recognize that word, or that word intrigued you. Something I said intrigued you. It piqued your interest to the point where you're like, okay, well, that sounds familiar. Or did I just feel that?